Hi, welcome to the Heart of Illumination. I'm Joseph. Thanks for showing up to today's message. So yes, I'm holding the camera and just kind of strolling around for today. I guess trying something different. And then it'll tie in with today's message. So today's theme and today's message will be along the lines of forgetfulness / remembering, as well as adaptability, and then finding the joy. Those are the three themes that are currently coming through to me. And if something comes up, if something else comes up, or if something outside of these themes come up, I'll just let it flow. So today I was ready to come out and record some videos and record these messages, and there was kind of a rush, right, where there was a bunch of trash that I needed to take out. There was some enoki mushrooms that went bad because they were sitting in the fridge for a little longer than they should have, and I wanted to wrap them up and give them just to put it outside in nature so that the ants and other creatures will consume it. And whenever I do go out, I obviously have to get dressed, have to bring a couple stuff, have to use a foam lint roller to stick a lot of the lint that gets stuck to my clothes, because I live with my sister and she has 7 cats, and so inevitably wearing black or wearing a deeper color, I'm gonna have lint on my clothes. So every time when I go out, have to use the lint roller on all the jacket, on the shirt, sometimes on my pants, and it's an entire process just to go out. It's an entire process. Of course, I know different people have different processes, but it's just a lot. It's a lot going on just to get ready to go out. And then when I have to remember a couple other things like picking up the trash, sometimes it's in the kitchen, so it's not in my line of view, and sometimes I forget. And so I have to just make that mental note to grab the trash and then go. And actually, one of the helpful visual cues I like to do for myself is that if I need to grab something before going out, or if I need to throw the trash out, I will take the trash by the door so that I know to grab it on the way out, right? So that I don't have to go through an extra pause or to check in with my mental notes to be like, oh, there's trash in the kitchen hiding behind the door, so I need to go get it. I see it, I just go with the flow. And so today, I forgot 2 things. I forgot the tripod that I usually use to put the camera on. So I will normally be recording this still, but yet it's an opportunity to try something different. And I also forgot my wallet, which has the building key, the key to the main door to the building. Anyway, I noticed that halfway through as I was leaving the house. Good thing my sister's home, and I guess it happens to me and her every now and then. So it's kind of a funny and weird thing. And so I guess my point of bringing the story up and how it always relates to the messages that needs to come through in each day is that sometimes when we forget certain things, it's okay. It's to let us know that forgetfulness can be used as a tool and a gift. And sometimes what we forget is actually helping us so that we open ourselves up to a new perspective, a new opportunity, a new way of doing things that we didn't think of, we didn't consider, we wouldn't even attempt before. And so here I am, right? Recording a video, walking around, but making it a little bit more personable. So yeah, I'll incorporate this style going forward as well. And I don't know, somehow I thought the tripod would be in the bag. I could have just opened the bag and checked, but I guess I took it out for something else, or I was experimenting with something else. Either way, it's good. I still get to come out and enjoy the park. And last time I came out to the park I was fully ready to record, and I didn't have my headphones. I still couldn't record because the phone's microphone would have picked it up and so forth. Yet it gave me an opportunity to take a pause and then tune into what's the gift of the moment and how it worked out. It's that I ended up being here, enjoying the park, enjoying the fact that when I left the house, I didn't care. I didn't even think about the headphone because I didn't want to have the headphones in my ears. I just felt so free without the headphones in my ear. And I didn't want to listen to anything on my phone. I didn't want to play games or anything. Just wanted to just go out in nature, do the walk, come here and record the video. Yet when I showed up, I realized I didn't have the headphone. But yet I didn't get I didn't beat myself up, and I didn't get angry or oh my God, whatever, right? So, oh yeah. Okay, so what else is here for me right now? And then I was able to just be more present while at the park. I listened, I enjoyed the moments of me kind of going about without my headphone, and how much I unconsciously picked up the freedom and the joy and the spaciousness of being out, listening and being receptive with my ears, and not even having to pay conscious attention to it, just having ears that are not cluttered, feeling the spaciousness around me, obviously picking up nature, picking up the birds singing, picking up all the external sounds, and I felt a deeper sense of connection, even though I wasn't consciously paying attention to it. And then when I showed up at the park and I realized I didn't have the headphones, I was like, oh, today is not the day that I have headphones on when I go out, and it's okay. And I just kind of enjoyed my walk back. I enjoyed my time at the park. I enjoyed my walk back to the home, and it was really nice. It was freeing in a way, right? It felt like, oh, just because I have headphones doesn't mean I have to put them on. And especially when I'm out, let's just keep the headphones off. So I know in this modern time, when at times I'm glued to the phone and we're incentivized to be glued to the phone, and with the phone comes big headphones or an AirPod, or any earplugs, headphones that we want to wear along with using our phone. But yet that cuts us off from nature, that cuts us off from this unconscious and subconscious receptivity that is innate within us, and that kind of naturally helps us to calibrate in this world, help us to naturally feel spacious and feel free and feel like we are and feel and know and unconsciously interact with the greater whole that we are, right? Our environment. And so yeah, it just brings me to a deeper realization about this sense, right? We call it just a sense, but yet when when I just not obstructed for a little while, I realized so much more that I didn't realize, right? So if I didn't have this experience, I would continue to take it for granted. Oh, just every day going about, I wouldn't have noticed so much more. But yet just through this experience and other similar experiences, I have this deeper realization. Like all my senses and my body and all that I am, it's already functioning to help me feel safe, feel free, feel strong, feel a part of Mother Earth and a part of something bigger, so that I can let go of all these anxieties and thoughts related to feeling, sometimes incorrectly feeling like a small little human being that's separated from everything. Just by paying attention to my senses, allowing for this deeper realization, allowing for this deeper relationship with my senses, it's allowing for these other realizations. And these realizations and the embodiment of these realizations is actually what ultimately helps us to be comfortable in our own skin, to be comfortable and joyous about being a human being, and then being grateful and appreciative for super subtle things that we already have, and we're becoming more aligned to this realization, right? So a lot of life, and this might take some many cycles to fully understand, to fully practice and embody. But in reality, we suffer because we listen to our mind sometimes and falsely listen to it, when all we have to do is to pause, to go deep into the moment, meaning to connect with our senses, to have healthy relationship with our senses of the external, to have healthy relationship of our senses awareness within. And then there's a harmony between our internal and external senses, our greater awareness, right? You can call these clear abilities or whatever, right? But at some point, 1 + 1, right? 1 equals senses directed to the external. The other 1 is the senses feeling within. And then the 1 + 1 equals 3 or 5 or 10, right? So those two and all these senses working together in harmony amplify what the senses are truly capable of, right? These greater awareness, this vast consciousness that we are. And it's so much beyond our physical body, so much beyond what our mind can comprehend, what we're feeling in the moment, the emotions and so forth. And most of life is that knowing that a lot of times we already have things and we already are things, and we're just not noticing it enough, we're not focusing it enough, or not aware of it. And so we don't fully appreciate, don't fully understand, and aren't able to be grateful for it, right? We don't know what we have and what we are, and what we are already doing unconsciously subconsciously, that's already wonderful, powerful, magnificent. And so a lot of life is that, especially in those moments of stillness, sometimes sometimes in the states of ecstasy and kind of the altered, heightened states, where we at least become still, right? There is a moment of stillness or a moment of open space that we can see ourselves, we can feel ourselves, we can experience ourselves clearly and be like, oh, I already have this, right? And that's the moment of realization. Wow, I didn't know I have had this for my whole life, and I didn't know it was there, right? It's like health. A lot of people, right? And, it's great that many people, especially with modern advances in health and medicine and information, that many people are more healthy today than ever before. Yet health is something that, we're experiencing it as human, and maybe we never get hurt or anything when we're younger, and then one day, even when we're younger, we get sick. It's like, oh, this is what health is, right? We understand the concept, and people tell us about the concept of health and staying healthy and holistic well-being, but it's only until we get sick from a minor cold where we feel very uncomfortable, very nauseous, or we can't get out of bed, right? We're always sneezing and experiencing so many symptoms, that it's only when we experience the contrast of health, which is being unwell or not healthy in that moment, that we fully understand, comprehend, and can experience what being healthy is. Right? So, and that's just one, very simple, very, very relevant analogy that everybody can relate. Same thing, like a lot, right? Another one is most people feel healthy and strong, especially like it seems like when they're younger, when they're in their 20s, they can do anything, and their bones they never get hurt. They don't break any bones or whatever, no aches or whatever. But as people are in their late 30s or early 40s, they start feeling aches and stuff that they've never felt in anywhere in their body. And when they were in their 20s, they could be outside and do activities for the whole day and feel completely fine, no muscle aches, no bone aches, whatever. And then when they're right in the late 30s or 40s, they just do an activity that they've always loved and have always done for a long time, maybe the same as when they did when they were younger, and they just did it for an hour or two, and they're already feeling muscle aches or maybe headaches or whatever. And it's like, oh, that's what it meant to be very vibrant and full of vitality and so forth when we were younger. And so then we go through a period of realization what once was, right, vitality. And so when we have experienced these realizations, it's also an invitation that, yes, it's not about reclaiming the vitality that we once had, but tune into what's the vitality we can cultivate now, right? So just because we get aches and pains as we are in late 30s or 40s doesn't mean those are bad. It just means that, oh, let's now divert some focus and dedication to maintenance and to feeling how our body wants to work now. It doesn't mean we always have to go perform activities or work to exhaustion or get our muscles or always do activities to so full that it always brings aches and pains to our muscles, we can now calibrate other things so that it not only diminishes the muscle aches, but there's greater enjoyment of the activity, right? There are other things that we're learning how to do that activity that we didn't quite calibrate or was open to when we were younger. So it's just an invitation to look at something with a new perspective, and then try new things that work for you better, and contemplate a little deeper so that you can experience the same joy from a different vantage point. And so, yeah, I feel very comfortable walking around. My arms are a little tired, but I feel very comfortable walking around sharing. And it's the same level of comfort even if I kept the camera still. But yeah, this is kind of nice as well. I'll get a nicer tripod or a selfie stick so it'll feel better recording these videos. And so my main theme was forgetfulness. So I want to come full circle with that idea where sometimes forgetfulness or some other things that we think are bad, like making a mistake or something like that, right? Forgetfulness, making mistakes, other things that we think are human mistakes or human faults, they are usually natural evolution and natural progression, and usually in our alignment to help us to gradually start expanding our perception, expanding our awareness, expanding how we have lived our life, right? Expanding our way of being, our way of life. And when we can expand that, then we have more ways that we can turn to that can get better results, or it's just a part of living a more fulfilled life. And most of these human mistakes, right, what we perceive as mistakes from one vantage point, as my story and what I shared with you alluded to, if you allow it to go through a full cycle, they usually end up being an insight or a realization and in a moment of expansion, a moment or a phase of expansion. And so in life, and then when we have these deeper understanding and deeper realization, we can have a greater relationship with this self-critic. Because this self-critic, right, well, it's like people in the external world being judgmental to us, right? Whatever we do, they'll have something to say. So that inner self-critic is similar to how toxic society could be, where anything we do, it's not good enough, or there's something wrong. So, but yet when we have these realizations and we practice them and we allow them to be integrated within us, and then we embody it and we fully become it, then the self-critic, it still exists, it still comes up sometimes, and it says stuff that is trying to judge us, but in a loving way. But yet when we have these realizations, it's like, oh no, I made a mistake, or I forgot this thing, but look at a whole new experience that unfolded because of that thing happening, right? So by being human, that's the opportunity of what comes as being human, right? I know there's a saying that says to err is to human, right? A lot of times, and all our knowledge and a lot of our science and a lot of our wisdom came from trial and error, right? So making mistakes and then course correcting and then doing it over from making adjustments and so forth. And so in a way, to be human is to always be on the correct path even when we perceive that we're not, right, making mistakes, when we feel like we're not, when we make mistakes or something external happens to us or something else, right? And so, yeah, so I know I shared a whole bunch of stuff just from that, from forgetfulness, human mistakes, to how all the mistakes and all the errors that we think we're making in our life, it's actually helping to guide us on this effortless cycle of realization about our magnificence, about our evolution, about the benevolence of being a human being. So there's a lot there. I invite you, if you need to take a couple moments to just, you can pause the video or keep listening, but just to close your eyes, go in, take a deep breath, take a couple deep breaths, and even drink a water. And if a mantra comes up or if something, so here it is. Have a drink of water nearby. Look into the water, and this is a method I'm picking up from Matthias de Stefano. I'm going through his alchemy path, and I'll make a video about that as well. And basically integrate, right? So say this as a mantra: my mistakes are not mistakes. They are gifts to ultimate realization. And maybe keep it simple as that, or take the core theme of this mantra and create a mantra that works for you. Say it 3 times with awareness, with intention, with focus, and then drink the water. Treat the water as that you embody this wisdom, right? Another one that's coming up to me is, to err is human, okay. To err is also, to be human is also to be magnificent through these errors. And you can integrate them as well through drinking of the water. And so, yeah, that's quite a lot for today, for this video. I'll feel into it and see if I'll make a video to cover the other 2 themes as well as something else as well if it comes through. So please feel free to like this video, add a comment to provide any feedback is welcome, especially those that will help this channel grow. This help me to know exactly how I can make these videos better, as well as what topics and what information you'd like me to share and expand on. And feel free to share this video for others that need to hear this message, need to feel this transmission. And please subscribe as well if any of these videos resonate even a little, if you like any of these topics, and I'll make more of it. So until next time, bye for now.